Hey there, welcome back. This is Cindy again. We are working now in Module 2 and we're talking about getting started with QuickBooks. This is video 5, identifying the components of the QuickBooks environment. What I basically want to do is just go over the home screen with you so that you will know what types of options are there and where to go when you get started actually using QuickBooks. Let's go ahead and flip over now and we'll start talking about how to identify those different components of the QuickBooks environment. This is what we call your home screen in QuickBooks. When you open your company file, it will automatically show you the home screen first. If you happen to be somewhere else in QuickBooks and you don't see this screen, the easiest way to get back to it is you'll notice on the left you have a home option right here that you can just click on and it will take you back to this screen. Now before we start working with this home screen, I want to just show you two quick things that you will want to do to make your home screen work a little bit easier for you. You might have noticed there is an icon bar here on the left. It's certainly okay to keep it that, it's a matter of personal preference, but I'll just show you another option that will free up some room on your screen for you. If you go to your menu and you click on View, you'll see there's an option that says Top Icon Bar. And if you click on that, notice now your icon bar is moved to the top up here. The next thing you'll want to do is you'll want to go ahead and go back to View and click on the first option that says Open Windows List, and that will appear on the left-hand side of your screen. And just to tell you what this is, every time you click one of these icons, you're going to open that window. So if I clicked here, for example, I would open this window, and this is where I would go to enter any bills I want to track in QuickBooks. Now you'll notice I have two options over here. If I don't want to close this bills window, I can click on Home and go back to the home screen, or back to Enter Bills and I'll be back on the bill screen. Now if I close this bill screen, just by going to the top right and clicking the X, not the one at the very top, that'll close QuickBooks, but the one right under it will close that window. And now you can see it's gone over here because that window is closed. Let's take a few moments and see how this home screen is actually set up. There's actually 5 sections here. This first section at the top where it says vendors, this is your accounts payable section. Anything having to do with the people or businesses that you buy from, those are called vendors. You're going to be able to enter the bills you receive from your vendors. You're going to be able to track inventory, things like that in this section. This next section here where it says customers, this is your accounts receivable. Anything having to do with your customers. These would be people that buy from you, and you can see that sometimes you invoice customers, you might want to receive payments from them, send them a statement. So this section here is all about your accounts receivable. This third section at the bottom where it says employees, this is your payroll. At the top right, you'll see a section that says company. These icons don't really have anything to do directly with the customers or vendors, but they have to do with the file itself. And I want you to get really familiar with this one right here, the chart of accounts. This is your most important part of QuickBooks because everything will flow through there. And we're going to spend more time talking about that over in Module 3. Notice there's also items and services. Those would be physical products that you might sell or services you provide. This is where you could set those up. The last section I want to point out here is called banking. Think about things you would do at the bank. You would make a deposit. You could actually open your check register from here, maybe print checks from here. These are considered banking functions and you'll find those in this section. When you're looking at your home screen, you'll notice there's a flow chart. And you want to always follow the flow chart from the beginning to the end. For example, with customers, you may or may not estimate jobs in your business, but let's say that you do. The next thing you would do is create an invoice. Then you would receive the money from the customer at some point, and then you would actually record that money and put it in the bank. So follow the flow chart from the beginning to the end for every one of these, and you'll have no problem with whatever you're doing. Now, I do want to point out a couple things on the very right-hand side of your screen. First of all, where it says account balances, Once you start setting up your accounts, your checking accounts, savings, credit cards, all of those accounts in the chart of accounts, you will see them here, and you'll also see the balance. And a quick way to go to one of those accounts is to click on it from here and open it up. This section here really has to do more with things that Intuit can sell you. For example, they have merchant services accounts available if you accept credit cards. If you want to order checks and supplies from them, you can. If you don't want to see this section here, just hit this little arrow and it will kind of hide that section for you. And then notice this backup status. One of the things that happens with the QuickBooks desktop version is you will need to back it up on a regular basis. And one of the ways to do that is to choose this Backup Now option. Another option you have is for a fee. Intuit will back it up for you. And you can sign up with that right here online by going to this link here. But again, if you don't want to see this, just hit the little arrow and that will hide it so that you don't have to keep looking at it. That's a quick overview of the home screen itself. You'll want to get very, very familiar with it. Let's go ahead now and look at the last video in this section. I want to talk to you before we leave about how to convert your QuickBooks desktop data to the online version if you ever decide that you want to actually move all of your information to the cloud so that you can access it from anywhere in the world.